What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 keys to victory for the New York Giants this Sunday against the Minnesota Vikings. A game in which the Giants need to find a way to win. This is the first time the Giants have been 500 since 2016 this late into the season. And if the Giants can get a win, this would be their biggest win in quite some time. You can make an argument, sadly, that this is the biggest game for the New York Giants since that playoff game in 2016 against the Green Bay Packers, because we're in contention in Week 5, something that really hasn't been the case the last 2 years. The Giants have to find a way to get a victory this week. And to get a victory, they're going to need to do these 3 things. Now, these 3 keys that I came up with involve some of our strengths, in my opinion, and some of their weaknesses, and vice versa. I think we definitely have some deficiencies going into this game that the Vikings are going to look to take advantage of, and the Giants will have to hold strong to try to find a way to win this football game. But the first key I'm going to talk about is something that the Giants have done incredibly well the last 2 weeks with our boy Daniel Jones at the quarterback position, and that is convert on third down. The Giants over the last 2 weeks against the Bucs and the Redskins, with Jones at quarterback, have converted at a clip of 54%. They've moved the chains. With Eli Manning, it was 23%. Some of that definitely has to do with Daniel Jones. Some of it may have to do with opponent. Obviously, we versed very good defenses those first 2 weeks. The Buffalo Bills, the Dallas Cowboys. We're going up against another very good defense. If we're going to win this football game, you cannot be in the 20s on third down conversions. We cannot be 2 for 11. We just can't happen. We got to be closer to 40%. I don't expect 54 against a defense this stout, but we have to move the chains more often than we did in those first 2 games. Have to find a way to pick up those third downs because it keeps the defense fresh and it keeps the offense moving. If we can do that, we stand a very good chance. Now, do I expect them to be able to convert on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10 like Jones has shown he's been able to do the last couple of weeks? If so, not that frequently. This is a very good defense in Minnesota. They're in the top 5 for a reason. You have to put Jones in manageable situations, meaning you have to convert, slant patterns on first down. You have to be able to run the ball effectively. Another thing that will not be easy. Vikings surrender 3.7 yards per carry. But if we can move the chains, keep that defense fresh, win the time of possession, or even up the time of possession, the Giants stand a very good chance on Sunday to win the football game. Another key I didn't mention, which goes without saying, is not turning the football over. A big strength of this Vikings defense. They've created 9 fumble recoveries, something that the Giants, who have been prone to fumble the football, especially Daniel Jones, have got to find a way to overcome that. Cannot fumble the football. Don't throw interceptions. Maybe one, but you can't have multiple turnovers if you expect to win this football game. And by putting yourself in 3rd and short, it will increase the chances of that not happening. The next key I got up is on the defensive end, and that is going to be the Giants' pass rush. Something that has certainly gotten better as the Giants have turned up the heat the last 2 weeks. They have 10 sacks for the year. They are getting after the quarterback at a good rate. They rank 12th in the league in sack percentage at 7.3%. The Vikings, on the other hand, are surrendering in the bottom 10 in the league in sack percentage, right? Their offensive line is not good in pass protection. It's just not. It's why they took Garrett Bradbury in the first round. If there's a weakness to this Vikings team, that's the biggest one. The offensive line in pass protection. Now, to be able to do that, you have to force them to pass, something they have not done a lot of this year. Because they realize that, right? They've run the ball a lot with Cook, who leads the league in rushing. They're 3rd overall in rushing for the year. That is the strength of this offense. Now, I expect them to try to open it up a little bit with the recent rumblings and grumblings with Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs, as they have shown that they're unhappy with the current situation. The other thing, and I'm going to get into another part of the deep offense we're going to have to cover in my next key, but that's a big key. Get after the quarterback, sack the quarterback. The Giants have done a very good job of that over the last 2 weeks where they've gotten victories. Have to find a way to do it this week, and I think they can. The Vikings' offensive line is not great, but they have to force them to pass. They have to get them into 3rd and 5 or longer and force them to throw the football. And maybe it could create some turnovers, something they've done 5 times in the last 6 quarters. We'll have to wait and see if the Giants can do that. And then finally, my last key. It's going to be the Giants' biggest deficiency this week on defense, and that is the middle linebacker position. Of course, Alec Ogletree is out. Of course, Tay Davis is out, and Ryan Conley is out for the year. So they're down to their 4th and 5th stringers. Nate Stupar, David Mayo. 2 guys who are thought to be special teams players. These guys will have to step up in this football game in both coverage and against the run. Of course, the run is the biggest key on defense. That's the biggest strength of the Vikings. You have to take that away. Cousins has struggled. These linebackers will play a vital part in that. So they will have to be able to anticipate the run, have good lateral quickness, and close out those gaps. And keep them, into third and long situations, third and medium situations. Have to do a good job against the run. And then also in coverage. I worry about that with these middle linebackers. The Vikings have some talented tight ends. They just haven't used them yet. In this matchup, if I'm the coach, I'm attacking the Giants. I'm attacking the Giants up the seam. With the inexperience there at the middle linebacker position, I expect them to struggle in coverage, and they have to find a way to limit Irv Smith and Kyle Rudolph in the passing game. Of course, Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen are going to be used, but I worry about those tight ends in this game. The middle linebackers for the Giants will play a vital part of whether or not the Giants will come up with a victory on Sunday. So we're going to have to wait and see how it all plays out. But I think the Giants stand a good chance to win this football game. I think they'll be able to get pressure on the quarterback if they get stuff to run. That's easier said than done. I hope that they can continue to convert on third down. And I think Daniel Jones, with his ability to scramble, stands a good chance to do that as well. We're going to have to see how it all plays out. But get after the quarterback and convert those third downs. And we may very well beat Minnesota Vikings tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it, guys. As always, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe. Drop a comment. Maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.